Welcome to Health Talk, doctor-backed wellness for everybody. Across Nairobi, London, New York, one question unites us. What is obesity? Obesity is a chronic medical condition, excess body fat that harms health. It's not a weakness or a moral failing. It's a clinical diagnosis, and it's manageable. Doctors assess using BMI, waist circumference, and your overall health context. Why it matters. As excess fat rises, health risks rise too. Key risks include type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and high blood pressure. What helps? A whole food eating pattern, daily movement, 7 to 9 hours of sleep, and stress management. Simple starts: half-plate vegetables, lean protein, and smart carbs are healthy fats. In this video, How Obesity Really Works, we cut through noise with clear, evidence-based guidance. We'll show practical steps you can use today. Food choices, walking, and strength to protect muscle. Prioritize sleep and stress care. Small, consistent wins add up. About supplements, be cautious. Use evidence-based products only. Buy from licensed pharmacies or clinician-recommended brands. Avoid miracle claims. Check labels, dosages, and interactions, and talk to your doctor before starting anything new. Ready to go deeper? We'll keep it clear and respectful. No blame, just science you can use. Stay with us for definitions, measurement, real risks, and practical, doctor-approved solutions. This is a global challenge, and your path forward can be personal and achievable. Together we'll focus on health, function, and longevity. Up next, what obesity is, how it's measured, and why it matters, made simple. Then we'll cover the risks you can prevent and the steps that work. Wherever you live, the principles are the same, and we'll tailor them to real life. We draw on trusted sources like WHO and CDC so you can act with confidence. Let's dive in, clear, compassionate, and actionable from start to finish. First, definition and measurement. Next, causes and risks. Then, food, activity, sleep, stress, and clinical options when needed. No fads, just facts focused on your well-being. Let's begin. So, what exactly is obesity? It's a term we hear all the time, but the medical definition is quite specific. Obesity is a complex medical condition, excess body fat that can risk your health. It is not a sign of weakness or lack of willpower. It's a clinical diagnosis. One common tool to measure it is body mass index, or BMI. BMI is a simple calculation using height and weight to estimate body fat. A BMI of 30 or higher is generally classified as obesity. It helps doctors track population health trends. But BMI is not a perfect tool. It's a starting point, not the full story. BMI doesn't distinguish between fat and muscle. A very muscular athlete could have a high BMI despite low body fat. It also doesn't account for differences in age. It also doesn't account for sex. It also doesn't account for ethnicity. That's why doctors use other measurements: waist circumference, body fat percentage. Our approach at Health Talk is rooted in science and delivered with empathy. This video is a comprehensive resource: How Obesity Really Works. Evidence-based ways to lose weight and protect your health. We'll use simple animations to show what's happening inside your body, how fat is stored, the gut-brain connection that influences appetite. We'll feature relatable, real-life examples: a parent encouraging healthier habits for their child, an office worker struggling with stress eating. We provide actionable, evidence-based strategies, doctor-approved advice on building a whole food diet, the importance of sleep, stress management. We'll discuss the best diet for obesity, safe weight loss goals, when to seek medical guidance, the latest in obesity medications, when surgery might be an option. This is about health and longevity, not just the number on a scale. Our goal: empower you to make informed decisions for a healthier, fuller life. Let's begin. Table of contents: defining obesity, measuring health, the role of BMI and beyond. The biology of body fat: energy in, energy out. Why obesity matters, understanding the health risks. Let's dive deeper into what obesity truly means from a medical standpoint. At its core, obesity is defined as a complex, chronic disease involving an excessive amount of body fat. It's important to frame it this way, as a disease, because this removes the stigma and moral judgment that so often cloud the conversation. It is not a character flaw or a simple matter of choice. Instead, it is a medical condition with a wide array of contributing factors, much like diabetes or high blood pressure. Understanding this is the first step toward approaching the topic with the empathy and seriousness it deserves, moving away from blame toward effective, compassionate solutions. Our bodies naturally need fat for energy, heat insulation, and to protect our vital organs. It is an essential component of our physiology. However, when the amount of fat stored in the body becomes disproportionately high, it can begin to disrupt normal bodily functions. The goal of managing obesity is to restore that balance and reduce the strain on the body's systems, thereby improving overall health and well-being for the long term. The diagnosis is not based on appearance. It is a clinical assessment based on standardized measurements that estimate body fat. The diagnosis is a starting point for a conversation about health, risk factors, and potential treatment plans. This clinical approach is crucial because it separates a person's health from societal standards of beauty. Medicine is concerned with function and risk, not aesthetics. By defining obesity as a medical condition, we can focus on what truly matters, helping individuals live healthier, longer lives, free from the complications that can arise from this disease. At its most fundamental biological level, weight is regulated by the balance of energy. We consume energy in the form of calories. We expend that energy through three main processes: our basal metabolic rate, the energy used to digest food, and the energy we burn through physical activity. When you consistently consume more energy than your body expends, the surplus energy is stored for future use. Think of your fat cells as tiny, flexible storage containers. When there is excess energy, these cells expand. If the energy surplus continues, the body can also create new fat cells. The problem is that in the modern world, access to high-calorie foods is constant. This creates a chronic energy surplus that our bodies are not equipped to handle. This energy in, energy out model sounds simple, but the reality is far more complex. The equation is influenced by a huge number of factors: genetics, hormones, the types of food you eat, your gut microbiome, stress levels, the quality of your sleep. For example, the hormone leptin is supposed to signal to your brain that you are full. In some individuals with obesity, the brain can become resistant to this signal. Similarly, the hormone ghrelin signals to your brain that it's time to eat. Poor sleep can disrupt this process, leading to higher levels of ghrelin and increased appetite. This shows that obesity is not just about calories. Understanding this complexity is key to realizing why eat less, move more is often insufficient advice. One of the strongest links is between obesity and type 2 diabetes. The process starts with a condition known as insulin resistance. To compensate, your pancreas goes into overdrive, pumping out more insulin to force glucose into cells. For a while that can work, but it places immense strain on the pancreas. This stage, known as prediabetes, is a critical warning sign. If insulin resistance isn't fixed, the pancreas can become exhausted and fail to keep up. Then blood glucose rises to unhealthy levels. That is when type 2 diabetes is diagnosed. High blood sugar is toxic and over time damages nerves, blood vessels, eyes, kidneys. This leads to devastating complications including heart attacks, strokes, blindness, kidney failure, and nerve damage that can result in amputations. The link is so profound the term diabesity was coined to describe this crisis affecting millions in countries like USA, India, and Australia. The good news, this shows why treating obesity matters. Losing even 5 to 10% of body weight can significantly improve your body's sensitivity to insulin. For some, achieving healthy weight can even put the disease into remission. Treating obesity is one of our most powerful tools to prevent and manage type 2 diabetes. Beyond diabetes, obesity places an immense and direct burden on your cardiovascular system. It includes your heart and your blood vessels. One of the most common consequences of obesity is hypertension, high blood pressure. Obesity also harms cholesterol levels. This unhealthy lipid profile promotes atherosclerosis. Over time, plaques can harden and narrow arteries. If a coronary plaque ruptures, a clot can form and fully block blood flow to heart muscle, causing a heart attack. If it happens in a brain artery, it causes an ischemic stroke. WHO data are clear. As obesity rose in the UK and Canada, cardiovascular disease rates rose too. Managing weight is a cornerstone of heart health. The heart muscle is directly affected. Pumping through a larger, more resistant system can thicken the left ventricle. It can lead to heart failure. Treating obesity is not just about weight. It's about protecting your heart muscle, your arteries, and your entire circulatory system from long-term damage and failure. The most effective, evidence-based approach is to focus on building a sustainable eating pattern centered around whole foods. A simple visual to use is the plate method. Aim to fill half of your plate with non-starchy vegetables. 1/4 of your plate should be a source of lean protein. The final quarter can be a source of high-fiber carbohydrates or healthy fats. A key part of this strategy involves limiting your intake of ultra-processed foods and sugary drinks. Start by making simple swaps. These small, consistent changes add up to significant progress over time without feeling overwhelming. When people ask about the best diet for obesity, the truth is that there isn't one single diet that works for everyone. The best diet for you is the one that you can maintain consistently while feeling healthy and energized. Physical activity is your most powerful tool for sustaining it and reaping countless other health benefits. It's important to think beyond just burning calories. Regular exercise plays a critical role in improving insulin sensitivity, strengthens your heart, and is essential for preserving precious muscle mass while you are losing weight. The goal is to find forms of movement that you genuinely enjoy. For many people, walking is a fantastic and accessible starting point. Incorporating strength training is highly recommended. This doesn't mean you have to become a bodybuilder. You can use resistance bands, dumbbells, or your own body weight. Remember, every bit of movement counts. These small bursts of activity add up and help counteract the negative effects of prolonged sitting. Prioritize sleep hygiene. It's non-negotiable. Aim for a consistent 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. Create a relaxing bedtime routine. Managing stress is the other critical piece. Find healthy coping mechanisms that work for you. Practice mindfulness or meditation. Spend time in nature. Adopt small, achievable goals. Each small win builds momentum and self-efficacy. Don't underestimate social support. Managing weight can feel isolating. You are not alone. For some individuals, lifestyle changes may not be enough. This is when it is important to see a doctor to discuss other evidence-based options. You may be a candidate for prescription obesity medications. These are not magic pills, but rather tools to be used alongside continued lifestyle efforts. Are obesity drugs safe? Like any medication, they have potential side effects. This is why a thorough discussion with your doctor about the benefits and risks is essential. For individuals with severe obesity, bariatric surgery may be an option. They work by physically changing the size of the stomach and also causes powerful hormonal changes that reduce hunger and improve metabolic health. However, obesity surgery is a major, life-altering decision that requires a lifelong commitment to dietary changes and medical follow-up. Whether considering medication or surgery, the first and most important step is to talk to your doctor. As we conclude our journey through how obesity really works, evidence-based ways to lose weight and protect your health, it is essential to distill our key takeaways into a clear path forward. We have learned that obesity is a complex, chronic medical condition, not a failure of willpower. It is driven by a powerful interplay of factors. Excess body fat links obesity to serious diseases. Treating obesity is a powerful preventive health measure. First, what causes obesity? A food environment rich in ultra-processed, high-calorie foods. Second, how fast should I lose weight? A safe, sustainable, realistic rate is 1 to 2 pounds. Third, are obesity drugs safe? When prescribed and monitored by a qualified professional. What's the best diet? The best diet is any balanced eating plan you can stick with long-term. When should someone see a doctor? See a doctor if your BMI is 30 or higher. Remember, obesity is a medical condition, and seeking medical help is a sign of strength. Remember, obesity isn't just about looks, it's about health and longevity. If you found value in this video, subscribe to Healthtokk, like this video, and share it with someone who's on their weight loss journey. For more science-backed health videos like How Obesity Really Works, evidence-based ways to lose weight and protect your health, stay tuned to Healthtokk, your global health knowledge hub.